This show is presented by 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment. All right, boxing fans, and now from the Clackamas Armory right here in Portland, Oregon, are you ready for some action-packed action?
Welcome to 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment's Fight Night 3 in Portland, Oregon. I'm Patrick Connor.
I'm Karen A. Tate.
And we're here for 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment's Fight Night 3. That's right, this is the third one, and tonight, Steve 2 Pound Forbes is making his comeback. 4 years out of the ring, that's the main event tonight, and Victor Morales Jr. also making his way in.
Yeah, we've got 5 great fights on the card tonight. We've got everything weight-wise from featherweight all the way up to super welterweight, and all the fights should be really exciting.
You know, we have a couple of 4-rounders to start us out here, but then, like I said, Steve 2 Pound Forbes in a 7-round main event, and then right before that, Victor Morales Jr. in an 8-rounder. We are going to have a lot of fun tonight here at the Clackamas Armory.
Yeah, we've got a lot of local talent and some standout amateurs making their pro debuts, and a couple of them just a couple fights into their pro careers, so it should be really great to see them develop tonight.
I agree, Karen. This is a very important night here for Portland and for the Pacific Northwest, and I can't wait till we get underway.
This show is presented by 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment. Well, once again, boxing fans, this is your co-feature of the evening. This bout scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. It is in the super featherweight division. Introducing first, representing Azteca Boxing Club and Boxing, out of the blue corner. He wears the blue trunks, trimmed in black and gold. He holds a professional record of 7 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws, and 1 no contest. 3 of his 7 wins came by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in at 127.9 pounds. Fighting out of Kent, Washington, introducing Marcelo Gallardo. And now introducing his opponent, representing Team Morales and boxing out of the red corner. He wears the Portland Trailblazers inspired trunks. He holds an undefeated professional record with 10 wins and no losses. 6 of his 10 victories came by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 127.7 pounds. He is a multiple-time national champion. He was a member of Team USA Boxing and a 2014 National Outstanding Boxer Award winner. Boxing out of right here in Portland, Oregon. Introducing the fighting pride of Portland, El Tornado, Victor Morales Jr. Your referee, Joel Scobie.
Karen, I'll tell you, Victor Morales Jr.'s credentials, they're stacked so high that it was quite a mouthful for Garrett Fertig there to get it out. Now, Victor Morales Jr. is was a highly rated amateur, several-time amateur national champion. And Marcelo Gallardo, like I said, he's been out of the pro game for just a minute here. Don't go to the refrigerator and grab a beer. Just wait a minute. Wait till the round ends. Just in case, because we have a very talented, very motivated young man here in Victor Morales Jr. Round 1 underway. Victor Morales Jr. measuring himself, but taking a very wide stance, looking like he is ready to cut distance and get things going.
Also notice they're both wearing Reyes gloves, tend to be worn by punchers, kind of maximize the power on those gloves. And yeah, wide stance, it looks like to me like he wants to establish some hard punches early, like he just did with that hook.
Quite an opening left hook that he timed on Marcelo Gallardo there. Not quite a knockout punch, but obviously a punch to say, we're here and we're fighting.
Gallardo, you can see, looks a little softer around the middle. I think that 2.5 years out of the ring is what we're seeing there. But historically in his fights, he fought Christopher Pitufo Diaz back in 2015 and actually gave him a very, very tough fight, went to decision. But he might be overmatched here.
He reached for a left hook and got caught with a left hook himself there, Karen. And one thing, now without getting too overzealous here, just in case, but one thing that you'll notice about Marcelo Gallardo is the size of those legs. He is not a very tall guy, but he is very compact and obviously very sturdy, at least just looking at him physically. He's taken a few bigger shots already, but you mentioned that midsection look a little soft, and Victor Morales Jr. almost on cue going downstairs with a left hook.
Smart thing to do, especially with a fighter who's been out of the ring for a couple years like this. But yeah, Gallardo, I think his game is generally, he likes to get on the inside, right? He likes to get on the inside with that shorter reach. That's what he's trying to do here, but Morales, to his credit, isn't allowing that. He's establishing a nice jab, keeping him on the outside. Doesn't want this to turn into a rough inside fight.
It's a solid right hand from Morales Jr. as Gallardo kind of falls inside. Otherwise, I have to say that Gallardo is actually fairly poised in terms of his stance and in terms of his balance. He's not falling in too much. Although, like you said, he has to get inside. Shorter reach, shorter guy, going in there against a far snappier, sharper puncher. So he's going to have to kind of sacrifice something to get inside and get to work. And as you could already see, he's getting tagged trying to do it.
He is. I see some serious determination on his face. I think he came prepared to kind of walk through a fire here, and he is. So I'm glad he had that mentality.
10-second warning in round one. Marcelo Gallardo surviving this against Victor Morales Jr., who's looking very sharp through just the first round.
Yeah, really good round for Morales. But yeah, Gallardo, he did have a couple of moments, and I think if Morales allows him to kind of bull his way in, that might not go great for him. So hopefully he'll keep that jab going.
It's a good counter left hook to the body from Victor Morales Jr. on this replay, and then he again goes down to the body with that left hook, and again in that replay.
Really good body work there by Morales.
Body work is something that's a bit of a forgotten art in boxing, and I will say we've seen a number of very, very good body shots tonight, Karen.
We have. It's really nice. It's almost like it's making a comeback in the pro ranks these days in modern fighters. It's nice to see. It's such an important fundamental for especially early in the career for young fighters.
Well, it's good to know that Portland, Oregon is countering all of those food cart pods with some good body work, Karen.
Indeed.
All right, round two underway. Victor Morales Jr., he looks ready to go here against Marcelo Gallardo. Nice jab on the outset, triple jab. Yeah, no problem.
That body shot really hurt Gallardo.
More really good body work from Victor Morales Jr. And you could already see Marcelo Gallardo, he's got that right elbow in pretty tight now.
Yep. Thanks to that left hook to the body. He just landed a nice left hook of his own on Morales.
He's kind of stepping in with this sweeping left hook from time to time that's, again, theme of the night, awkward punchers that are landing from weird angles. And I don't think that Victor Morales Jr. is expecting quite that kind of shot. That said, it's not landing very hard. It doesn't really seem to be catching him that clean, and Victor Morales Jr., he looks like he's more or less sparring right now.
Yeah, it's tough, but yeah, he's clearly in control. And yeah, to your point, I think Gallardo hasn't landed his punches with enough consistency to be hurting Morales enough to make a difference here yet, but we'll see if that changes.
Victor Morales Jr. spending a good portion of his training time down in Los Angeles at the Wild Card Gym, of course, with Freddie Roach, noted trainer of Manny Pacquiao and many, many others. Victor Morales Jr. says that that time is absolutely invaluable, that he's spending sparring with such champions and former world champions like Leo Santa Cruz. And considering his weight class here, that's perfect for him. A guy like Leo Santa Cruz is going to move his hands, has enough punching power to keep you honest, and is really going to learn you. Here we're seeing Victor Morales Jr. clearly being a cut above Marcelo Gallardo, who's no slouch, but just not the same class, Karen.
Yeah, and I think he's got a bit of ring rust here for sure. And he switched to southpaw there for a minute, but didn't seem to benefit him a whole lot. I think maybe he was just trying something different, show a different look to Morales. But yeah, he's a bit in over his head in this fight. I think that ring rust is definitely not helping him.
Appears to have heavy hands, but is just slow-handed, and you can tell what he's going to do about a second or two before he even does it. And that's a problem against somebody who's a lot quicker like Victor Morales.
Yeah, and Morales is mentally quicker as well. You can see he's ahead of Gallardo mentally. You know, he's kind of anticipating what he's going to do. And to your point, slower hands than Morales certainly, and getting that top-notch sparring at Wild Card Gym, that ain't going to hurt either.
Gallardo kind of chasing Morales down in the last 30 seconds of this round here, but he just can't quite seem to catch Morales clean, and Morales banks another round.
I think another aspect of what's happening here is Morales is able to time Gallardo with the slower hands, slower feet, and just easier to anticipate punches and movement. Morales has been timing him really well, catching him with shots before he's able to kind of get his own off. So it's a good job by Morales.
He's definitely making sure he's keeping nice, tight, and sharp here. Here's a replay. Victor Morales getting that jab in there and clearly shoving that left hook downstairs against Marcelo Gallardo. Gallardo at this point has got to start feeling the effects of that hook. Going into round three, our lovely ring card girl, Antoinette Elliott. Victor Morales Jr., of course, in command, but not in a big hurry to get ahead of himself here.
Which I think is smart. You know, he's taking his time. He's breaking Gallardo down a little bit at a time, and I think that's a smart approach.
Now, Karen, as Marcelo Gallardo gets caught up on the ropes here a bit in round three, some of the criticism against Victor Morales Jr. in his career thus far, now he's only 10 fights in, but some of the criticism has been that he hasn't really faced anybody of note, and when he has had opportunities to actually end fights early or come on a little stronger, he's let up just a little bit on the gas. So I think that right here we should be looking for Victor Morales Jr. to look a bit to make a big statement close to his hometown.
Punch looked like it was on the belt line to me. I don't think it was terribly low, but we'll see in the replay.
Marcelo Gallardo doing the right thing in that he's leaning in, trying to get close, trying to cut the distance, but the problem is he's not punching to do it. He's just kind of inching his feet forward and leaning in rather than doing that along with punching. That presents a very easy target for Victor Morales Jr., no matter how hard Gallardo seems to be punching.
Definitely. And footwork plays a big part of that. You know, Morales is able to kind of spin around and like he just did there and get in better position defensively and offensively, and Gallardo, his feet aren't quite as polished.
Monster left hook to the body there on Gallardo, whose arms are just getting lower and lower by the minute.
Yeah.
But one of the consequences of having such thick legs like Gallardo is that he just does not move very well.
Definitely. His game is, if you allow him to get inside it, you got a tough fight on your hands. But if he can't get in there, it's a rough night for him. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
It was a good attempt at a left hook or left uppercut to the body from Gallardo, but it's just kind of a one-off and didn't do enough.
Yeah.
There, Victor Morales goes right back to the body. Gallardo feels it.
Yeah, to your point earlier, I would like to see Gallardo, jab his way in a little bit better. Maybe double up on the jab as he tries to make his way inside, and gives Morales something to think about.
Morales starting to land his left hook upstairs with much more regularity here in round 3. And before too long here, I think that we're going to start seeing, well, first we're going to start seeing Gallardo almost going through the ropes. We're going to start seeing his arms come down even more, opening him up for some headshots now. His head looks hard. We'll have to see what that does.
That was a good right hand by Morales. It definitely stung Gallardo upstairs. Another good round for Morales, but yeah, Gallardo has a ton of heart.
No, it is worth asking, and it's totally fair to ask. What is Victor Morales doing right now that he should not be doing? What more could he be doing? Or is this the perfect performance thus far?
I think he looks great. If I try to critique one thing, it might be just he clearly has good, well-schooled feet. I'd like to see him use his footwork a little bit more, and maybe do a bit more pivoting, a bit more lateral movement to make Gallardo have to kind of follow him around a bit more. He's done a bit of that, but I'd like to see a bit more of that. Otherwise, he's doing great. He's doing just what he's supposed to do. If not all opponents can be stopped, right? So I don't have a problem if that happens again here tonight. I think Morales is doing his job.
That replay we just saw there was actually Victor Morales landing a right hand left hook, and the reason why he landed the left hook, Karen, was what you just said. He stepped ever so slightly to his left to land that left hook, changing the angle, making it that much more likely he'd land it, and he did.
Yep. That's key. I mean, if you can pivot, change the angle just a little bit on your opponent and catch him with something different like he did there, it gives your opponent something more to think about. That he's already got quite a bit to think about. The more Morales changes angles, shows different looks, the more I think Gallardo isn't seeing some of those punches coming.
And Morales, you could actually see, you might not be able to see super great on the camera right this second, but there you go. Right next to his right eye, he's a little bit marked up from the harder left hooks that Gallardo's managed to land. They're kind of errant. They're one-off. They're not coming very often, but they are landing. And every so often, just as I say that, Victor Morales lands with a big combination that slows Gallardo down, kind of stops him in his tracks.
But Gallardo keeps coming. Got a lot of heart. He did not come here to lose. And especially after a 2.5-year layoff, I applaud him for that.
I'm not sure if he got an earful in the corner, but it seems as though that here in round 4, he's looking to come forward with a little bit more purpose, if not more intelligently, certainly more aggressively, but that's getting him into trouble.
Definitely. He's getting tagged on his way in. Again, I'd like to see a jab as he tries to make his way inside a little bit more. He had a little bit of one there, and he did better, actually. And yeah, Morales doesn't like it on the inside, it doesn't appear to me. He wants to keep this an outside boxing match. And Gallardo is just keeping on trying to get on the inside, so. But yeah, it's just getting tagged too much.
At this point, it seems as though Victor Morales is starting to really just hotshot Marcelo Gallardo, who can't really do a whole lot about it. Give him credit because he's tough. He's absorbing this punishment. He's doing it without complaint. He's doing it without going down, and he hasn't really looked very wobbled thus far, but at the same time, that doesn't win you rounds. He's losing rounds very, very clearly, and at this point, he's kind of just taking a beating. That left hook obviously hurt him badly.
He's really hurt.
Oh, Morales is in for the kill. Referee's taking a very good look here. And Victor Morales Jr. actually pushing down on Gallardo's head probably bought Gallardo an extra 20 or so seconds.
Just what I was thinking. I actually think Gallardo might have gotten into that position a little bit. A nice veteran tactic by himself
Yes,
a little
indeed.
time.
Gallardo already back at it, and man, those thick legs have got him sturdy as heck. He's back in Victor Morales' face against his better judgment. That was not a clean knockdown, a bit of a cuffing shot. We'll probably see that on the replay there, but Gallardo
kind of a little bit behind the head.
You got it, yeah.
So not a legal blow. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see in the replay. Really good, exciting round.
Looking on the replay here, we have Victor Morales Jr. measuring Marcelo Gallardo. There's the right hand, left hook.
Yeah, that really shook him there, that left hook.
It's the second portion of that replay. Gallardo up against the ropes, just taking punishment. It looked for a moment here like he was really gonna, I don't know, go somewhere other than the ring, but perhaps he, like you said, taking that position did buy him some time. Really tough guy, Gallardo. Referee appears to be saying something to Gallardo in the corner there as his corner works gangbusters to try to get the swelling down, to try to revive their man so he can get back in there and get at Victor Morales Jr. Marcelo Gallardo a little slow off of his stool for round 5 here. Not that we blame him.
No, and actually you could see when he stood up, he appears to be pretty hurt to the body. Look a little bent over.
Well, he's fairly red just above his belt line there. I wouldn't be surprised if he copped a cracked rib or two on that right side, because he's absorbed a number of hard left hooks from Morales. Victor Morales Jr. looks like he's taken a little bit of a break thus far in round 5 until, of course, just then.
That's what I was talking about earlier, the pivoting out. That's nice to see. I like that from Morales.
It appears that Victor Morales has recognized that he has things well in hand. No point in going nuts for a stoppage. Just calm it down, and that knockout will come.
And I think that's the right approach. This is his 11th fight. Like I say, not every opponent is going to go down, and that's okay.
Gallardo kind of gets walked into another right hand left hook there, covering up, obviously showing that he does not want another shot to the body.
I think he'd rather take a shot to the head than another body shot.
Starting to get a little bit wild in there as he's looking to defend himself. It's survival. And it seems as though Victor Morales Jr. is moving in.
Yeah. I like what I'm seeing from Morales, too. He's picking Gallardo apart bit by bit. But like you said, he's not going crazy. That's a very smart move on his part. It shows that he's got a cool head under pressure. He's developing well. And it's the right move. I mean, Gallardo is very, very tough, as we've seen.
Gallardo squaring up with his feet more and more, just kind of falling off balance, which is not what we were seeing from him early on. And there's about a 6-punch combination from Morales. Every single one of them landed.
Yeah, Gallardo's definitely slowed down here. His legs, I think, are showing the first signs of shakiness. They might want to look at stopping this before too long.
Perhaps just a little bit deceptive with how sturdy he looks. Perhaps that just makes it more likely that he'd take more punishment without us knowing how hurt he is, because he seems as though he's standing in there, although you get a closer look once he actually gets hit with punches. You could tell he doesn't like them.
And he's slowed down so much just in this round. I don't think there's any question. He's pretty seriously hurt.
That being said, one thing that we have not seen as much from Morales Jr. this round is body work. And I think that if he went right back there, I don't think Gallardo's lasting much longer.
Agreed.
Nice finish from Morales. Got caught with a little bit of a hook at the end, but nothing doing.
Nothing too much on it, I think.
Replay around 5. See Gallardo slowing down and Victor Morales Jr. coming in with combinations and looking to throw that left hook to the body.
Got caught with the left hook there earlier, so it's a nice reminder to him, I think, to stay defensively responsible even when you're having good success with your offense. Yeah, I'm not sure if Gallardo's corner, it doesn't look like they're looking at stopping the fight. Yeah, we're continuing.
Well, he's hanging in there. He's coming out for round 6, and like I said, no complaints. He's coming in there to fight, but they're just clearly on 2 different levels at this point.
Definitely.
Right on cue, Morales Jr. goes right back to the body with his left hook. And Gallardo, he took it all right, but can't imagine he's going to be taking a lot of those all right.
And you know, a fighter like Gallardo, he's really tough, clearly a warrior. Sometimes I feel like the corners have to kind of take the initiative and go on and stop the fight. Nobody wants their fighter to take a knockout loss, but it's better to save him this damage that he's taken here.
He's definitely not going to be bending over to pick up anything anytime soon, the way he's getting nailed to the torso there. It's gotta just feel awful. A couple of right hands and a left hook kind of stop Gallardo in his tracks, stiffen him up there. He's right back at it, but just not getting anything done offensively.
Yeah, there's a saying in boxing that sometimes you have to save a fighter from himself, and I'm kind of feeling like that's the situation we're seeing here.
You always want to give a fighter as much of an opportunity as you possibly can to actually win the fight, but there's a cross-section of that. It kind of comes at a crossroads of, does the fighter actually have a chance to win the fight? And in this case, the chance is very slim. Once you start talking about a quote-unquote puncher's chance, that is very close to no chance.
Exactly, and especially at this point, you know, Gallardo doesn't, you can see he doesn't have much on his shots anymore. So I feel like that puncher's chance just, you know, shrank even more.
A lot of these punches from him are arm punches, and he's squaring up so much that he's just not able to get any leverage on them. And Morales Jr. is moving around on him so much that he just can't get set.
Exactly.
We're in the last minute here of round 6. Victor Morales Jr. looking comfortable. A couple of marks around his eyes, but otherwise, that's just boxing. This is what happens. We're in a fight here, and he is walking Marcelo Gallardo into left hooks thus far.
Little grin from Morales there because he stepped around and made Gallardo kind of stumble. But that's just what I was talking about earlier with the footwork. You know, he's showing that, and I think he's getting more comfortable doing it.
Big left hook from Morales rocks Gallardo towards his corner. He's rocking back toward the ropes here, and there might not be much time left for him, even if he makes it through this round.
His legs are definitely wobbly. And Morales kind of landed the kitchen sink at the end of that round.
Karen, after that 6th round there, just like you said, it's one thing if Marcelo Gallardo has the ability to absorb these shots, but the other question is, should he?
Absolutely.
Should he be in there absorbing these shots? He shouldn't be in there absorbing these shots. They need to really think about stopping this fight.
I completely agree. I think, in my opinion, it's moved past, you know, a question, and it's definitely what they need to do.
Well, they have 2 or 3 extra folks in the corner of Marcelo Gallardo right now. Here on the replay, we see Victor Morales Jr. timing Gallardo with his jab, some right hands, doing a great job with his left hook. Looked like the doctor giving Gallardo a fairly close look there, but they're comfortable letting him come out for round 7 apparently.
Now we have a doctor examination of Gallardo.
Getting a closer look at Gallardo. seeing his reactions to certain questions and whatnot. Looks like he's saying, I'm all right. He probably is not all right, but we'll have to see what happens in this round.
It's all relative. A fighter, when they want to keep fighting, right?
Well, again, you want to give them that opportunity. You don't want to end their night prematurely, but we also don't want to end anything else prematurely.
Exactly.
Just moments into the round, Victor Morales Jr., huge left hook, and he's following it up with a barrage with Gallardo on the ropes. He's almost defenseless. He's got his gloves up, but just not defending intelligently. Morales Jr. taking his time, not punching himself out.
The referee's giving him a very close look here, as he should. But yeah, the problem when a fighter gets this hurt in a fight is no matter how big his heart, he's taking almost everything clean. That means he's feeling everything.
Yeah, there's not much to fall back on in terms of defensive ability, style, any of that kind of stuff. And right now, he's just got absolutely nothing on his punches.
Yeah, and I also see that his sense of distance is off. To me, that shows that he might be impaired a little bit.
And an even newer development, his left eye is beginning to close. Any sort of chance to win this fight very quickly slipping out of the grasp of Marcelo Gallardo here in round 7. It remains to be seen whether he can even last the round, much less last another round after this.
Yeah, we still have half the round left. This is rough round for him.
That counter left hook from Victor Morales Jr. is a thing of beauty. He's timing it very, very well on a guy who's somewhat awkward in the way that he steps in, and Gallardo's taken every bit of it.
Yeah. And I like, again, what I'm seeing from Morales. It looks to me like, he's practicing different things in this fight as he should be. His opponent is overmatched, so go ahead and work on everything you can work on. He's worked on his footwork, his timing, landing cleaner punches, changing angles quite a bit. It's really good work by him.
Marcelo Gallardo having a tough time keeping his balance just from simple pushes at this point because he just has nothing left in terms of energy. He's taken clean shots and just being moved halfway around. The referee really needs to start thinking about stopping this fight, even with just 30 seconds left and he's going to get a minute rest. It's not a minute rest. It's going to do any sort of good.
No. There we go.
Good stoppage. That's not even a little late. Victor Morales Jr. showing everybody right near his hometown of Vancouver, Washington. He's got the stuff. He came back to right a stone's throw from where he lives, put on a show. His fans here love it. Here's a replay of that stoppage. Marcelo Gallardo teetering back into the corner. Victor Morales recognized that he had absolutely nothing, and the only thing he had to do was step in and throw punches.
Yeah, and nothing coming back from Gallardo there, so referee definitely did the right thing. But yeah, this was a great kind of step-up fight for Morales, and Gallardo, even though he's been a bit inactive and all, a very tough guy, presents a lot of a stylistic challenge for Morales, if nothing else. And it was nice to see him handle that in such an impressive and one-sided way.
It was a quick turnaround for Victor Morales. He just fought last month. Important for him to stay active as a young fighter. He had a little bit of a layoff, and of course, it's totally fair to say that Marcelo Gallardo himself a bit of a layoff, and I'm sure that contributed to how everything went tonight. That said, the Pacific Northwest has a very clear prospect, a very strong prospect here in Victor Morales Jr. Let's make it official with ring announcer Garrett Fertig here in just a moment.
All right, boxing fans, after 7 rounds, referee Joel Scobie has called a stop to this contest. Your winner by TKO, the Fighting Pride of Portland, El Tornado, Victor Morales Jr.
Victor Morales Jr. looking very happy, massive smile on his face there, fighting in front of his hometown fans for the first time as a professional. He said he'd done it a number of times as an amateur, but of course needed to come back here as a pro, Karen.
Yeah, it's really nice for a young fighter to build that fan base at home, keep building it as he progresses in his pro career.
He's got snap, he's got speed, he's got the experience, he's got the good looks. This kid's going places.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Victor Morales Jr. Sports and Trailblazers gear. If you want my opinion, this is by far your best performance. I probably announced 6 or 7 of your pro fights, and you showed real good composure. I marked it down. First 4, you were counterpunching. I haven't seen you counterpunch that much ever. I don't know if that was the plan going in, but you counterpunched for the first 4, and then your coach says, walk him down, and you walked him down for 3 more rounds, and you got yourself another victory, making it 11 straight. Now going into this fight, tell me what you thought what was gonna happen in this fight.
I knew that he was gonna come out, and he was gonna fight, and he was gonna bring the fight exactly how he did. So I knew he was gonna come with everything. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Portland asked for it, and I hope we delivered. I want to thank all my sponsors, Cam's Cuts, I know they're out there somewhere, Rancho Grande, Frog Fuel, and Four Sons Pressure Washing. I also want to thank my management team, Sheer Sports Management. I know that he's over there. Thank you guys. Thank you, Steve, for putting on such a great show and having me come home to Portland.
All right, boxing fans, I want to know one thing. How good is it to have Victor Morales home? Anything else, brother?
I just want to thank you guys again for coming out and supporting me. Those of you that don't follow me on Instagram at official_Victor Morales, and hopefully we'll be back here to put on another performance like today.
All right, buddy. It's always a pleasure watching you work. You're one hell of a fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, El Tornado, Victor Morales Jr.
Dominant performance from Victor Morales Jr. against Marcelo Gallardo. Sky's the limit with this kid. There's no question. 11 wins in as a professional. Where does he go, Karen? I mean, what are we seeing here? Are we seeing something special in just his 11th pro fight?
Well, I think, it might be a little early to start talking about how good he is, how special he is. I think if he can stay in the ring and be really active this year, I think that would be key. And to keep stepping up that level of opposition like he did tonight, that's how he's going to keep growing and improving his craft. And, we saw even just within the same fight tonight him improving a lot of things. And upping that level of opposition, I think, the sky's the limit.
This show is presented by 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment.